What do you think about the economic effects of this decision by Governor Kemp, right? So, I mean, the idea is that you open up and then you can get the economy going. But the early signs in your state, which is really kind of sort of a pilot here, is that people don't rush out to go do the stuff they were doing before just because the governor said you're open for business.
Georgia is a cautionary tale to every other state that's thinking about reopening. First of all, we've seen our rates skyrocket by 40% since the announced reopening, the soft relaunch, moving into now the near full reopening. We have seen our rates of infection jump to 30,000. Our death rate is around 1,300. We remain one of the top states for the infection, and we're still very low on the rate of testing. There is no correlation between reopening the state and actually restarting the economy, because there are no people who can take advantage of this reopening, except for the workers who are being forced to risk their lives. And as you said earlier, we're watching a concomitant issue with food insecurity rising because the South tends to have the lowest public benefits. And so people who are already vulnerable, already on the edge, are being shoved over, and there's no real relief coming from the state. There's just this false notion that if we reopen the economy, everything will work out, and that's just not true.
I want to ask you about another story coming out of Georgia, though it is a national story now, and a profoundly disturbing one, about the shooting of a 25-year-old unarmed black man named Ahmaud Arbery in a small town in the southeast of your state on February 23rd. So this is before the sort of pandemic had exploded. And there's a video of the shooting, which we're only going to show you a part of, which surfaced yesterday, and it shows Arbery running along a residential street. He was just jogging, and he comes up upon a white pickup, and one of the men is standing beside the truck. The other is in the bed of the truck, and Arbery runs around the truck and disappears briefly from view. There's shouting that can be heard, and then gunshots. Neither of those two white men, the ones who are in the truck, Gregory McMichael or his son Travis, are arrested. And according to the police report, Gregory McMichael said he saw Arbery running in the neighborhood and thought he looked like the suspect in a rash of break-ins. So he and his son got their guns and chased him down. And we should also note the older McMichael is a former cop, former investigator in the local DA's office. The first two prosecutors recused themselves because of professional ties to Gregory McMichael. Yesterday, a third prosecutor recommended the case to a grand jury. What do you think should be happening with this case?
I believe that there should be immediate investigation of charges. It looks like murder. It looks like vigilante behavior that should be charged and criminalized. And it looks like the Arbery family has been dealt a very sore hand of injustice. We've been working very quietly trying to lift this story up because we wanted to be respectful of the family and recognize that there was a process moving, but the process moved too slowly. And I'm gratified that there is now national attention that's calling the state to question and forcing real investigation and true justice to be delivered to Ahmaud Arbery's family.